Hi everyone, I'm Ryan, and I recently decided to finish the Pokédex on every single game on the Nintendo Switch, but with only shiny Pokemon. So far I've completed Pokemon Scarlet Violet and both of its DLCs, and today we're going to be attempting Pokemon Legends Arceus. Like all games on the Nintendo Switch, shiny odds in this game start at 1 in 4,096, but Legends Arceus doesn't just require you to catch every Pokemon in order to make your odds better. You also need to bring every Pokemon's research level to 10, and when you show Professor Laventon this accomplishment, he'll give you the shiny charm, which drastically lowers your odds to 1 in 1,365. The fun thing about this is that Dex level 10 also gives you a boost to your shiny odds, which brings you to roughly 1 in 820 when you combine it with the charm. And you can make those odds even better, but we've said enough fractions for now, so I'll talk about that later. Personally, I like the change in how to acquire the shiny charm. That's until I had to use Thunder 70 times in a row, and at that point it gets pretty boring pretty quick. But we persevered and picked up the charm. Now, I had tried this challenge before, but I decided to start from scratch for this video. This one is the one that we're doing for our YouTube series. Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait! We didn't have one of these in the old living shiny text. We didn't have a Chingling. Look, we got Chime Echo. There's no Chingling. I missed. Okay. Stay in the ball. Let's go! We did it! 1 out of 224. Let's go! And before I'd even left the map with Chingling, we were already up to 2. People either love or hate how shinies appear in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Not only does the Pokemon appear in the overworld like Scarlet and Violet, not only does it have a sparkling indicator like it does in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but there is also a sound that plays when you go into the range of the Pokemon. And here I was glad for that sound, because I almost missed the hardest read I've ever seen from somebody in Twitch chat. And shiny Piplup incoming? My god, Jim, I would love that. I'd be so happy if we got a shiny Piplup. I think it's very unlikely because the amount of Piplups you can spawn is already just very low, right? I think you get a maximum of 3 by this water up here. So I'm not holding any hope. Okay, so 2 of our spawns are not Piplups. One of them is, but it is not shiny. I lied to you. Drifloon is a great shiny, and not just because I can color match it in a quick ball, but at night they are everywhere in this game. I think it's safe to say there are some culprits that we will be seeing a lot of before the end of this video. And this is one of them. This is Combee. Combee is a villain. Male Combee cannot evolve into Vespiquen, so if we don't see a female one, we'll be stuck with lots of duplicates. Magikarp, Rufflet, Gastrodon, and Finneon closed out the first day of shiny hunting for this challenge, meaning we got 11 in one day. And that's wonderful news! This is going to be the easiest dex we've done so far. If we do a little bit of quick maths, less than 30 days to finish the whole thing. Well, that's not quite right. There's actually a lot of Pokemon in this game that don't have great spawns. And whereas there are methods we can use to catch some of them, a lot of them are going to become a real problem to find. One of those Pokemon is Eevee. Now, if I told you it spawned in 60% of the areas of this game, you'd probably think I'm exaggerating. But the spawns are really limited. And it can spawn in outbreaks, which would give us 10 to 15 chances to find a shiny one, but even those outbreaks are rare. And do not get me started on space-time distortions, where you could wait for an hour and not even see a distortion, never mind an Eevee in it. All of these struggles, combined with the fact we're gonna need 9 of them, means we're probably not gonna find one for this dex for a long time. Prime sub if you want to. There's lots of different things you can do to avoid Wait. Oh my god, is that an Eevee? There's no way. There's no way that's an Eevee. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'll be honest, this Eevee look does not continue, but it's nice to get one of the rarest shinies this early on. Stantler closes out the first section of this challenge, and I'm excited to tell you that we are about to explore one of the most interesting parts of this game. Every Pokemon game has a gimmick. Some of them are good, like double battles introduced in Generation 3 or building interiors. Some of them aren't as well received, like Z moves or removing building interiors. In Pokemon Legends Arceus, the biggest gimmick is alpha Pokemon. Quite literally. Ryan, what's different about alpha Pokemon, you might ask? They're big. They're just big Pokemon with red eyes. And for some reason, that makes finding them shiny so much fun. Every map has a group of Pokemon that are always alpha, and I call these static alphas. And then every other spawn on the map also has a small chance to be large. My first shiny alpha of the dex was a static Pachirisu in the Mylands, and you cannot tell me that doesn't make her so cool. After shiny Apom, I encountered a problem. If you watched my last video, you'll know that day-night cycles often lead to different spawns, and that's still the case in this game. I'm going to let the clip do the talking. I'm gonna go walk your dog if you end before I get back. Thanks for the... No, it's daytime! It's daytime! Come here! Come here! Don't you run away! Oh my god. Wait, no! Wait, does this thing have... Hang on a second. No, it's gonna... Come here. It's gonna have explosion or something. It's gonna have explosion. We gotta get it. Oh my god, I had some fast thinking there to get that. My god. Oh my god. Because it's... Right, watch this, chat. Watch this. This is how close we were to losing this Pokemon. It's gone. That Drifblim, it's gone. This scenario has actually cost me a shiny Pokemon before. A shiny Drifloon. Hey, yo. Look at that. Wow. What a great shiny... But let's not think about that. Back to alphas. This nose pass was one spawn away from the alpha Probo Pass in the Highlands. And then a minute after finding a Gumi, we got our second static alpha in the Mylands. Cool. All right, let's carry on then. Because there's some Teddy Ursa over here. No way. Oh my god. No way. No way. Oh my god. Oh my god. With the route that I follow around this area, that's actually the next alpha spawn after the Pachirisu we just got. We need to talk about something I'm doing with this challenge. I'm not using outbreaks or massive mass outbreaks right now. It's kind of like the way that in Scarlet and Violet I decided not to use sandwiches because I found that it made shinies show up too fast. And I kind of like to take my time with these challenges to just enjoy them. Now, with this game, that's not to say that I won't be using them at all, but I'm going to set myself milestones where I unlock them. At 25%, I'll start outbreaks, and at 50% dex completion, we'll start massive mass outbreaks. The more that I work my way through these challenges, the more I appreciate not having to take the time to evolve Pokemon, and shiny Walrein looks so good on the overworld. I can see this coming back to haunt me in future challenges, but I'm really getting the urge to hunt things fully evolved. If you've ever been on a shiny drought, then you'll know that sometimes speaking a shiny into existence just somehow works. A Gibble would be kind of a nice one to get shiny. I wouldn't mind the Alpha Garchomp either. That'd be kind of a sick shiny too. I called it? Catching 2 Chingling to finish the evolution line felt crazy when my previous attempt had 0. Now back to alphas, but not a shiny one this time. Just a rude Lopunny that knocked me to the ground. As it did though, a shiny Baneri in the distance. Gyarados keeps us moving, and this time, Kricketot hiding under a tree wasn't a fake out like it was in Scarlet and Violet, but an actual shiny. Even though Pokemon spawn sparkles in this game, it's always nice to be able to see them beforehand. My Scarlet Violet training is serving me well. I don't want to go looking for a TM that I can craft anyway. I get no benefit from this. Shiny Gligar. Shiny Gligar, chat. Let's go. Wait, we're back in the Mylands. Isn't this the place we caught all of our shiny alphas so far? Surely that can't mean anything. Well, after picking up a shiny Yanma, which is an S tier shiny by the way, and something I really want to hunt all the way back in Pokemon Crystal, I decided it must mean the Mylands are ready to pay out shinies today, and oh my god, I was right. Excuse me? But we aren't done yet. On every map, I've made a route that I like to take to make sure that I see as many Pokemon as possible, including all of the alpha spawns. In the Fieldlands, we take a very slow route with a few options to double back because Rapidash hates to get its hair wet. and Golbat only spawns at night. In the Mylands, my route looks a little bit like this, and so from the Alpha Sliggoo, there's not much of a gap before we reach here, on the very same trip that we found Alpha Sliggoo. I'm gonna show you what Espeon looks like. Wait. What? That's 2 shiny alphas in one map. This kind of look is why I love shiny hunting, and I'm currently working on another challenge in Pokemon Legends Arceus where that look goes even further. But for now, here I am being excited about a Zubat, something you will never see from me again. A couple of evolution lines completed and a frog lead us on to the final shiny alpha of this section of the video, but I'd forgive you if you didn't spot this one. With Glalie major change being its eye color, and alpha Pokemon always have their eyes hidden behind a scary red glow in the wild, I am once again relieved that this game includes sparkles, because otherwise I'd have missed this. Those of you who know a lot about Pokemon Legends Arceus will have been wondering how am I going to deal with the distortions since you clicked on the video. But for those of you who don't know a lot, here's what I'm talking about. Every 5, 10, 15, 25, and 40 minutes, there's a chance to spawn a space-time distortion, with an appearance guaranteed after 40 minutes. The only issue is, if the weather is bad, the distortion gets skipped and can reroll the entire timer, meaning you won't even see one at all. I've made sure that every route I take to check on Pokemon in each of the 5 zones takes at least 15 minutes. That means that every time we enter an area, there is a 50% chance to see a distortion before we leave, as long as the weather doesn't go bad. And even with this consideration, we're not seeing that many. At least we're seeing more Eevee than expected though. With just 45 total caught so far, we already have 2 Eevee and a whole bunch of shiny alphas, which is kinda crazy. But as I was catching the shinies you can see rattling off on the screen as I talk, the realization was setting in that finding a shiny, any shiny in a space-time distortion, is gonna be by far the hardest part of this challenge. And even once we find a distortion, we only get 3 chances at the rare distortion exclusive spawn, with waves of other Pokemon, potentially still useful, bridging the gap until the bubble fades away. I'm doing very good. Get globbed idiot is one of your favorite phrases. Oh my god, that was scary. Come here, buddy, come here. Oh my god. A shiny Ursaring in a distortion? We did it! It's not quite one of the 10 exclusives though, so we are gonna have to keep on trying, even though an Ursaring caught in the Obsidian Fieldlands is rare. And speaking of rare, another shiny alpha. This time the Octillery in the coastlands. I hope this is a sign that we're about to find a whole bunch more here. I'd love to see a static Ninetales spawn. Some Pokemon are aggressive on the overworld and will fight you until you catch them or until they grab the balls right out of your pockets. Wait. But some Pokemon will run away once startled. We're good. I knew it wasn't gone, chat. I've experienced the ghost before. Bunnery can also run away, so we had to make sure to take the stealthiest approach possible before catching a watermelon pig. Remember how I said I wasn't going to use outbreaks? Despite the insane amount of shinies you usually find in this game, in a whole 8 hours streaming on my Twitch channel, that Swinub was my only shiny. And because I was so upset about my bad luck, I broke my own rules to boost my odds and get a shiny at an outbreak. There are, however, some Pokemon you can't break the rules for because there's only one way to get them, and that's Burmy and Wormadam. The only way these Pokemon can be found shiny is by knocking them out of trees, and you haven't seen it, but every shaking tree we've gone past, I've been checking for these elusive gamers. I want them to get pre-rolls. Oh my god! I did not know that that could happen. Thankfully, though, I was able to get my first Burmy soon after, and if it's a girl, we won't need to worry about how we get Wormadam. You need me to do it for you, chat? You don't know the spelling? Oh my god, I've gone lightheaded. I forgot to breathe for like a solid 30 seconds. In my opinion, Pokemon Legends Arceus simply does not miss with the Hisuian forms. And one of my favorite Hisuian shinies is Voltorb. We do like a quick space-time distortion. Shiny Voltorb. Shiny Voltorb. Ooh, there is a chance. Oh my god. I don't think I could have had a more cinematic encounter with this Pokemon if I had tried. I wish I could tell you the distortion in the background had a shiny Cranidos in, but I can't. What I can tell you, though, is that we're still kind of zooming through this section. We're mostly getting a shiny every 2 hours, and shiny number 69 was maybe one of my favorites so far. What else we got? Scarlet Violet was Mankey. BDSP, my... Unknown Eye. Number 69. We think he was trying to spell nice. And if it was foreshadowing, because things are about to get even nicer. Our Lord and Savior is at... Oh! A shiny Starly! Oh my god, it's almost nighttime. We're going to have to move kind of quick on this. Let's go! We can evolve this into a Staravia from Twitch Plays Pokemon. Stay in the ball. Better. Let's go! Staravia get! Let's go, let's go, let's go. We like... No shot. What? What? The Coastlands are the new Mylands. I knew it. So we managed to get 3 of the static alphas to shine during the Mylands' height of success. So maybe we can get another in the Coastlands too. Right? No. Let's not get too distracted with shiny alpha Pokemon. This section is about distortions. And look, there's one spawning in the Mylands. Let's go. It's quite a long way away. I think we've got time to continue our route though. As best we can. We can move faster for it as well. Oh my god. Good job, we continued the route. Apparently you can still hit me, so thank you for stun sporing me, pal. Very annoying. Okay, there we go. And on the way to that very same distortion, we also found a shiny Bibarel. You can't write this stuff. Once again, no distortion shiny, but what about checking for a shiny Burmy? Pat predictions on who would win the shootout? Yeah, you know what? I don't know who would win that shootout. That's interesting. An interesting one. Yo, Gecko, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yo, chat, if you are enjoying the stream, make like Gecko. Oh, is that a shiny? That is a shiny Alpha Mantine. There you are. Oh my god, that is a cool one. Okay, here's an issue that we're having. A distortion in the Mylands can spawn 3 rare Pokemon, and we would love to see a Porygon, a Porygon 2, or a Porygon Z. But that's not all that we can spawn. Because we've beaten the game, we also have access to Cyndaquil, Quilava, and Hisuian Typhlosion, which once upon a time would have been just as exciting, but since the Daybreak update, we've been able to get those in massive mass outbreaks, so we can just catch them later. Okay, let's go see if there's any more Porygons around. So we can get a Porygon 2, maybe. Because this area can also spawn Cyndaquils. So seeing a Porygon at all is really good. It's an exciting time. You'll love to see it. I heard something. What? 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 Okay, well, we're spending the rest of the time trying to get this then. I am panic mode now. I'm in panic mode. I'm actually, this is the... Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We just got a shiny Porygon? 1 out of 10 distortion exclusives and the rarest shiny I have ever caught. Since this happened, Porygon has become my favorite shiny Pokemon. And my Twitch chat has sent me a horde of Porygon plushes. But we can't stop here because we've got more shinies to catch. Weirdly enough, one of the hardest Pokemon to catch in this game is Abra. Not because it has rare outbreaks or bad spawns, but because these things have perfect vision, and they are scared of their own shadows. If you're not paying attention when one shines, there is a high chance it will just teleport away and you will lose it to a despawn. Have psychosomatic... Oh dear. Is that a shiny Abra? Oh, it's not gone. It's not gone? Saved? And barely 3 minutes later in the same map, we have a chance to get our Wormadam. Could be. No way. Be female. Be female. Be female. No! Oh, it's a duplicate. It's not. We can evolve it into a Mothim. We can evolve it into a Mothim. God damn it, man. Ah. But this section's about alphas again, so let's not get too distracted. Not even by how good Shiny Psyduck is or how fleshy Golduck's beak gets. I'm sorry. Oh! Chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you kidding? Alpha Shiny Abomasnow. What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Generation 4 introduced some baby Pokemon, and because Hisui is based on that generation, we have to get them all in this game. I don't like most baby Pokemon, but some of them have gone a long way to fixing themselves in my estimation. There's not a lot for free content, in my opinion. Oh! Oh my god. Despite the fact that I'm now checking outbreaks, weirdly enough, most Pokemon are still coming from overworld exploration. Taking massive detours to give space-time distortions time to spawn really helps you get the most out of your encounters, and it leaves very few stones left unturned. I've also started doing something I've never done before, saving in front of shinies. And with this Misdreavus, I'm very glad that I did, so that we could reclaim it and evolve it into Mismagius. We still haven't managed to get a female Burmy or Wormadam yet. Maybe this Shaking Tree is the one. Emerald's Battle Frontier. I thought that was shiny first. It is! Let's go! Is that an alpha? It is! Let's go! Oh my god! It is shiny! And this little hill kept on paying dividends, with Graveler following later that same day. I'd like to take a second to apologize to some of you. There's not enough time to say something insightful about every Pokemon I catch, and I'm even skipping by the likes of some big favorites like Staraptor and Luxray. So if you want to see more about them, make sure to stop by on my Twitch channel where we record all of these challenges live. What I won't skip over though is a chance to make Cricketoons cry again. I was like, I hope I... Okay. Alrighty then, I will take that. That seems pretty good to me. Don't mind if I do. Come here, Mamoswine. Let's go. Alpha Mamoswine. Alrighty, let's go. As we close in on 100, I want to do a quick recap. So far, we've managed to find 2 Eevee, 2 Shinies and Distortions, 3 shiny Pokemon from trees, and a whole bunch of shiny Alpha Pokemon. And honestly, I think it's going a lot better than I could have ever imagined when I started this challenge. Let's hope the next 100 are just as exciting. Hey, have a look at the first shiny of this segment. I shouldn't make bad puns, I'm just never gonna learn. There is an incredibly cool but very time-consuming hunt in this game for a static shiny Alpha Gallade, but I didn't know you could actually set it up for a soft reset while I was doing my shiny dex. This one is 100% one of the ones I'm gonna have to come back for in the future. Now, I don't show you all of the shinies that we see during these challenges, only the new ones. That's because if I did, this video would be like 4 hours long because of all of the duplicates. And as I alluded to earlier, one of the main culprits of this issue is Combee. How many do you think I found during my time playing Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch? 4? 10? 15? Well. Is it male? That's female. Oh my god. Oh my god! Wait. I have, in Pokemon, found 28 male Combees in a row over every game in the franchise, with this game alone having 24 of them, and 2 of them were alphas. I have finally found a female shiny Combee. Oh my god. Mass outbreaks make our odds maybe a little too good. Combining our existing 1 in 820 odds with the shiny rolls and mass outbreak gives us, the chances go to 1 in 137. So the shinies are going to fly by in this segment. And while they do, I'd like to take a second to talk about this game. Now, if you've been around my Twitch streams, you'll know that Pokemon Legends Arceus at the time of writing this script has become my favorite Pokemon game of all time, overtaking even my nostalgia for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I like the departure from the traditional gameplay, catching Pokemon in the overworld, being attacked by wild Pokemon, open world fluid movement mechanics, even if the buttons are a little clunky from time to time. And if I was gonna make a tier list of all the gimmick mechanics in a mainline Pokemon game, I'd put Alpha Pokemon as a solid S tier, even if that's only because I like shiny hunting them. But that doesn't mean I'm not able to see some of the issues with this game too. I often hear the argument that the overworld's a little bland, and compared to Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, you have to agree that the colors in this game are a little dreary. The Legends Arceus defender in me would argue that at least the graphics are consistent and coherent. I'm looking at you, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, with your high-res Pokemon and your Tomb Raider caves. But I do think Pokemon games look better with a brighter color palette. There's also the matter of shiny Pokemon. When you're looking for anything, it's really fun, but isolating a single target sucks. And a lot of people don't like the sparkle animations you've heard 100 times already today because it makes shinies a little too easy to find. I'd like it to be a toggleable feature because removing accessibility feels crazy. Anyway, to wrap up this little rant over a montage, I'm really excited for Pokemon Legends ZA. It looks like they're bringing back color to the franchise and keeping a lot of Pokemon Legends Arceus' core mechanics and still deviating in exciting ways. I will say though, somebody might need to show the Nintendo team a video of how to make Minecraft builds look textured because oh my god, those apartment buildings could do with some variety, especially in the windows. And I am firmly in the camp that a city is big enough for a game. You ever played Spider-Man, Cyberpunk, GTA 5? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll keep it real with you. The reason I monologued here is because very little actually happened here in terms of exciting shinies. And sometimes that's the way it is with these challenges. You just make progress with nothing really to write home about. But I hope you enjoyed my insight and I'd love to hear yours. So let me know what you think of this game in the comments. For now though, let's get back to business. It's literally no... Besides the Ninetales and the Cobalt Coastlands, this is the alpha I wanted to accidentally stumble across the most during this playthrough. I was even considering taking the time to set up the soft reset, where you clear an outbreak from in front of it, and then every time you reload the game, you get a new roll for a shiny Steelix, but now I don't have to. And in a weird coincidence, the very next shiny spawned at the outbreak we'd have had to clear in order to set up the hunt. Next, I found a shiny Oshawott, and after checking the rest of the MMOs to beat the rain stopping the spawns, I headed back to catch it. Actually, let's color match this one. Okay, I lied. Let's not. I don't want to talk about how bad that was, and this next clip could have been even worse if I hadn't started saving the game in front of things. That's good. I like it. Oh, there is one. It's gone, but there is one. There's two? At this point, you've probably realized why I wanted to wait to use MMOs until later in the game. Every Pokemon you're seeing in the background is as a direct result of flying to an outbreak in the pouring rain, and a surprising amount of them are shiny without even having to clear any of the initial spawns. The only problem with this is that as we keep moving, there's less and less Pokemon we still need. I hope that doesn't start to be a problem. No. Let's not worry about that. We are meant to be so back. Let's instead talk about Spiritomb. In this game, hell, in most games that it shows up in, Spiritomb is an elusive Pokemon. In its first appearance in the franchise, you had to have friends, which made it impossible for me as a kid. And it's not really much easier in Legends Arceus, where in order to catch a Spiritomb at all, you need to find wisps dotted around the entire map, and only once you have found all of them will Spiritomb start to spawn at the top of the plateau in the Mylands with a very low chance. Now take everything I said about Spiritomb in this game and forget it. They added it to MMOs. It's great for me, and the shiny is incredible, but part of me still wants to go after that really rare spawn one day. A lot of people have predicted that Rhyhorn will be the next shiny today, which is, I think, an interesting prediction as well. Please be female! Please be female! Please be female! Let's go! Let's go! After over 1,000 trees checked, I finally found a female Burmy to evolve into Wormadam. I think this might be the only game where Dartrix is available as an overworld spawn, so getting one without having to evolve a Rowlet is kind of special. And in fact, this Pikachu reminds me that there's another game we need to complete a shiny living dex for that has some very cool overworld spawns. Some very cool ones. Cascoon is an incredible shiny, but wouldn't it have been really cool to catch Dustox? And Skorupi is a much better shiny than Drapion, but imagine if we didn't have to disappoint that poor little Scorpion by evolving it to look like this. And here as well, avoiding the evolution method for Stantler, that settles it. It's already way too late in this dex to commit to trying to catch shiny Pokemon with as few evolutions as possible. But in the next dex, I am going to hunt as many unique shinies as possible, so make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that video. I failed a shiny during this playthrough. In fact, I failed 2. I simply turned my game off without saving after catching them, and it has taken me nearly 100 shiny Pokemon to finally recapture a Tangela so that we can get Tangrowth. Usually with these challenges, I don't set myself a time constraint, but whilst I was shiny hunting in this game, we were just 2 weeks away from the launch of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's Teal Mask DLC. Now, I know the DLCs are a long time ago, but between getting both of the dexes and something you'll find out about shortly, the time skip's gonna make sense. For now, though, we've got to really get a move on if we want to catch the 60 remaining Pokemon before the DLC launches. 3 shinies a day seems completely reasonable, right? Day 1 of the rush went well. We hit our quota with Duat, Chatot, and Growlithe. And I'm not going to skip over the Chatot without talking about how much I love this silly little bird. From it yelling swear words in Gen 4 to its musical note head and metronome tail. Day 2, though, went even better. Another Duat, this time for Hisuian Samurott, a Cyndaquil that was once locked in space-time distortions, and a Mime Jr. to evolve into Mr. Mime. But I knew something bigger was about to happen. Next, I caught a shiny Bronzor almost the very instant that it spawned, and a pink Magmar stood apart from its friends before that feeling turned out to be my favorite shiny encounter of the challenge. You enjoy shiny hunting Pokemon with the ribbons, you just wish it was possible to get them on an egg Pokemon? Oh, do you mean like the marks, or do you mean like... Shiny Alpha Zoroark. A shiny Alpha. Oh my god. This is by far one of the coolest shiny Pokemon I've ever caught, and I hope they have a feature like Alphas again in the future. And we weren't even done with the day yet. Tentacruel and Arcanine showed up fully evolved to help cement my convictions about Let's Go Pikachu, with Shiny Onix being the penultimate Pokemon in a crazy day. As I evolved my 9th shiny of the day though, I realized my delusion. In 176 Pokemon, we've caught one, just one, shiny that is exclusive to Distortions. But I also don't want to leave this dex unfinished before going to Kitakami, because who knows when we'll be back. So I've decided to temporarily do something very controversial. With just 10 days to register all 224 shiny Pokemon in our living shiny dex, we're making our own space-time distortions. What I mean by that is anything we're missing, especially the difficult Pokemon, I'm going to catch them outside of Pokemon Legends Arceus and trade them in as placeholders to replace with a Hisui origin at a later date. But it's still not going to be easy. I caught Rhyhorn and Outbreak to be shiny number 177, and then I turned my attention to Rowlet. So let's see how we can scuff this, keeping in mind there is no Blueberry Academy yet. Okay, so I still need to catch this Pokemon in Legends Arceus. Fortunately though, after a few hours, an MMO finally gave us a minty bird and we moved on to our first real homemade space-time distortion. And it looks like our first distortion has taken us to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, a game where we can get a good chunk of the Pokemon we still need from Pokemon Legends Arceus distortions. The shiny hunting works differently in this game, but all you really need to know is that catching Pokemon increases the shiny rate of the next spawn. Our first shiny, Magnemite, came without any issues, but the next one? So the next Magnemite we see has an increased chance of being shiny. It's a Magneton. We still haven't seen a Magnemite. Has an increased chance of being shiny if one ever shows up. Guys? Guys? Hello? Oh, wait. What? Oh my god, let's go! Having a Magnemite chained to 31 catches means that rare spawns that are usually a 0.5% chance are now a 50% chance to show up on every spawn on the route. We use that to reset spawns outside of Celadon City to catch a brand new shiny Porygon to evolve into Porygon 2 upon arriving in Hisui before our Let's Go Distortion closed for now. So, yeah, this is how this section's gonna work, and I know some of you are already at your keyboards like, Ryan's cheating, I don't like this, but just wait. We're gonna resolve all of this in the next section, so please just hang on a second before you type an angry comment. Now, there is still a fairly large chunk of Pokemon we can't actually catch outside of Hisui on the Nintendo Switch. And it was almost as if the game wanted us to succeed when we got not just Rufflet to evolve into the incredible Hisuian Braviary, but also Petilil to evolve into Hisuian Lilligant. I can't quite remember what the next Pokemon is called, but it evolves into Rhyperior, which is actually a Pokemon that has a static alpha I'd love to hunt in a future video, before we again got treated to one of our Hisuian exclusives with a Hisuian Zoroark. It's a 1 in 2,000 chance. That is not a 1 in 2,000 chance. That is a shiny Zoroark. Let's go. Oh my god, it finally happened. I love this so much. This is one of the best shinies of all time. And it looks like this distortion has taken us back to Paldea. Now, if you've been watching this series, you'll know that Scarlet and Violet is incredibly kind with its shiny Pokemon, to the point where I refused to use Sparkle Power Sandwiches for the entire base game. And the reason why kind of presented itself instantly upon my return. With no Sparkle Power Sandwich, we didn't just get Sneasel and Weavile. We got 4 Sneasel in 30 minutes. And the luck didn't stop there. I could... Okay, you're not going to be banned when you return. Let's go. Let's go. That's it. Is the other one in the background shiny? It is! There's 2! There's another one right there! Look at that! It's coming towards us! There it is! It's right there! Look at its legs! It's literally just standing there waiting for me. I'm not going to nickname it yet, so we can just run straight into this one and get another one. Let's go. Shiny Scyther. 2 in a row. Let's get it. Once again, within the same Bug Encounter Power 2 sandwich, we managed to catch our 3rd and final Scyther to get all the evolutions sorted back in Legends Arceus. And I know we could catch Scyther in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and compared to a Distortion Pokemon, it's really easy, but we're kind of running out of time here. Scyther has been a Pokemon we've seen hundreds of and completed tons of outbreaks for it, and it's somehow just eluded us. We've had a similar problem with Duskull and Snorunt, with the only difference being that Duskull isn't in Scarlet and Violet, so we might have to stick it out in Legends Arceus. For now though, forget what I said about Snorunt, it's finally shiny. And despite starting so well with Eevee, we need custom distortions for so many of them. Remember what I said about Duskull? May as well call it Buskull, because let me tell you, when they all arrive at once, I meant like buses arrive together. Did that sound like I said bust? I should probably just run up and glob and ball, because once I give these a chance to see me, they start hopping in and out of it. Let's go! I love that I just stood in just held it at a straight line for 3 throws in a row there. It is another one! Oh my god, let's go! It wasn't over! Oh my god, it worked! Let's go! This was crazy, but since it happened, I've had even more insane moments with this evolution line. If you want to hear that story, though, you're going to have to wait until I finish the next Legends Arceus challenge I'm working on. Yep, you're right. There was a little skip in the number there. You're very observant. Unfortunately, I'm not. That is a chunky Quilava. That is mad. Okay, come on. We can do this, chat. We can get a shiny Quilava at some point, I guess. Oh, wait, is that shiny? Wait, what? I didn't even hear it. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. What? And one of the other Pokemon in the gap was one of the rarest ones we have left in a place I didn't even know it could spawn, and will therefore help us a lot in the future. Distortions today? Yes, 100%. I'm considering going to Scarlet Violet to hunt for Rotom. You'll have heard me mention looking for a Rotom in a Scarlet Violet Distortion, and you better believe that I did. I also managed to find Jolteon and Magneton to evolve into Magnezone. The fun part, though, is that when I returned to Pokemon Legends Arceus... Oh my god, we just got a shiny Rotom. No more scuffed Rotom! We actually caught this in this game now! This is the first of many. I will be unscuffing every one of these Pokemon, but still not right now. In fact, Shiny 201 was a Hisuian Sneasel to get our Pokemon Legends Arceus exclusive Sneasler, and from here, we're going to be living in different worlds. I will try to keep it quick. You're here for the Legends Arceus decks. So am I. But I did try to make it interesting by at least catching most of these scuffed shinies as fully evolved evolutions. Honestly though, Scarlet Violet's traits made it a little bit trivial. It's both a good and a bad thing though, because by the time we caught Riolu, we have just 3 days left to register everything else before the DLC drops. I even returned to my most behated game on the Switch, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, to radar hunt for 2 Togepi before heading back for a Porygon in Let's Go Pikachu, at which point something became very clear. Unless I want to hatch a lot of eggs or even go as far as to open up the infamous briefcase simulator known as the Griefcase, some of our best options are still in Legends Arceus with a method we haven't touched yet. Let me introduce you to permutations. In Pokemon Legends Arceus, whether a Pokemon is shiny or not is decided based on an RNG clock that progresses at different speeds with different actions. And catching a Pokemon or KOing a Pokemon both move the clock along at the same speed. But so does knocking out 2 Pokemon, or 3, or 4, which means that by using different patterns or permutations to clear an outbreak, you can find new subsets of spawns that can even be shiny, just like this Dartrix. The only issue with this method is that it is incredibly time-consuming, and all we saw that day was Dartrix. We did make a start on a new set of permutations, but with 9 Pokemon left and 2 days to get them, things aren't looking great to beat that deadline. But there was no champion. So, oh, we've done it! Oh, we've done it! Oh, we've done it! We've done it! Oh my god, it took so long. It took so long. All right, chat, time to get glob and balls out. Are you ready? All right, get globbed. Okay, that was really funny. Get globbed. It's sensible to feed them there, right? That was sensible. We've been smart there. Oh, no way. No way. Let's go. Let's go. We are off to a flying start, but Chimchar is a concern. Permutations work best with aggressive Pokemon that want to fight you, and Chimchar's just a little guy who likes to run away. Meaning that every time we have an MMO in the Fieldlands, we are checking it for Chimchar and hoping for the best. I'm on shiny Chimchar. One of them just climbed a tree. I guess they are monkeys. It makes sense. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. We actually got one. And with that, we are just 2 Pokemon outside of the Sinnoh fossils that are still easily obtainable in the game. Cherim and Torterra. With the end of the day coming in, I headed to a new Grotle outbreak to set up a permutation, and in the very first set of spawns, shiny number 219 was sat waiting for us. We ended the day with 5 left, and I decided to put out a call to my community to see if we could get this done with just 24 hours remaining. With just 24 hours to go, I put a call out to my Discord community, which you can join in the description, we'd love to see you, to help me locate the Sinnoh fossils. And I'm starting the day with Cherubi eggs in the hope that we can get there. I gathered my first batch of eggs in Sword and Shield, where you could genuinely spell Masuda with an F. It's nowhere near as bad as Scarlet and Violet, and I decided to explain how shiny hunting works with eggs in this game. You don't have to know what it looks like when you're hatching with the Masuda method, because the Pokemon will sparkle when it comes out of the egg. If it's... So with 23 hours and 45 minutes left, I hopped into a game where the Masuda method is far worse, and over 30 people were working together to try and find the last few Pokemon. The first target I went for now was Shieldon, and one was found after not too long, but not by me. A member of the community called Twans found one, and it gave the entire community hope that we could do it. And not even 15 minutes later, target number 2 showed up. And after just another couple of hours, the third fossil showed up as well, leaving us with just 1 to go. And this is where we hit a drought. People started to give up. They had to go to bed. They had to go to work. But surely with just 1 Pokemon left, the script has the fossil in it. We are 12 hours into stream with just 12 hours until Kitakami, and I decided to hatch my last batch of eggs in the boxes before going to collect some more. We did it! We beat the buzzer, and we came together as a community. After transferring everything into Pokemon Legends Arceus, we had a full dex in time for Kitakami, but we're going to be back. Because obviously we are not done yet. It has been a long time since Kitakami and even the Blueberry Academy, and I headed back to Hisui with 29 Pokemon left to catch. But hopefully I can make this a little more exciting for you, because every single shiny that you're about to see has actually been found whilst filming for our next Legends Arceus challenge, where I try and catch every single static shiny alpha Pokemon. All 85 of them. As I flew to check the Alpha Scyther in the Fieldlands, we got our very first unscuffed shiny of the section, and it was followed not long after by a Pikachu to evolve into Raichu. Looking at the list, it is truly shocking that we didn't find either of these Pokemon in the first part of this challenge, but the next 3, they kinda make sense. What you're about to see though is probably my luckiest moment shiny hunting ever, and probably something you've already seen before because I flex it whenever I can. Oh, chat, pause champ, EVs. EV outbreak, EV outbreak. Any shiny EVs for me? Ow, my ankles. It doesn't look like there's any to start with. Scuttling around. Stay in the ball. Oh, it didn't. Oh, it did. We're fine. It did. We're fine. Let's go. Shiny Eevee. That's an unscuffed Pokemon, Twitch chat. That is an unscuffed Pokemon. Let's go. Oh my goodness. No way. Are you kidding me? My God. A second Eevee. Oh my... What? Save the game. I cannot stress enough how much 3 EVs in one outbreak sped up this process. And the game wasn't even done yet, because a different EV outbreak and a different zone gave us EV number 4 of the 7 we needed to unscuff. We even managed to get another Cypher, which will evolve into Cleavor. Some of the coolest shiny encounters in this game are the flying Pokemon. And in this list, we have 3 targets that we could find flying around in the overworld, so I'm making the extra effort to look for them. This Togepi takes the list down to 2, but we have to get at least one of them in Magnezone because the next best options is Distortion. Surely it won't take too long. Next up, though, we managed to finish the Scyther line when a Scyther dived in front of a Pokeball to save its friend, and then caught a Snorunt, which thankfully was a girl, so we could evolve her into Frostlass before we headed to the Mylands. I do not already have Whiscash, that's why we checked it. Ooh. Was that the actual Togetic? Wait, did Togetic just shine? Oh my god. Oh my god. Bonsly followed soon after, and so did Hisuian Sneasel. Wait, why am I leaving that one behind? Why am I leaving that? It turns out that I forgot that we needed Sneasel, and so at the 3rd time of asking, I also added this incredible shiny to our decks, which we are now very near finishing. Shiny Riolu to evolve into Lucario leaves us with just 6. 3 Eevee, Magnezone, Cherrim, and Pichu. Now, obviously Pichu is the easiest, so we're very likely to pick that one up first, but Cherubi and Cherrim are also rare outbreaks or trees. Eevee is a rare outbreak or limited spawns, and Magnezone is a flyer, as we mentioned earlier. One of Eevee's limited spawns, though, is in a space-time distortion, and you can probably see where this is going. As a space-time distortion reached its last few seconds before disappearing and removing all the spawns in it, we need to be ready in case the new wave spawns in. We were. Oh my god, my heart, my heart, my heart. Oh my god, because the distortion is about to end. And somehow this Eevee opened the floodgates. We got one of the rare spawns, which if you think all the way back to the start of the decks was one of our very first shinies. And then we cleared up the last one we needed in an outbreak. We even managed to get a duplicate Eevee. And with that, just 3 remain. And Pichu will be the easiest, so we'll probably get that first. But fortunately for us, the other 2 are available in the same location. By doing a bit of creative traveling, we're able to check a very specific route where all of the trees will contain only Cherubi or Cherrim, and we get to encounter all 3 of the flying Magnezone in the Highlands. The problem is that sometimes when we do this route, we only see the magnet because of how bad the spawn rates are for the trees. And you see so many of the magnets that they all start to look shiny. You found a shiny Frostlass. Let's go, Cyber! Congratulations. Man, it looks so shiny. It is shiny! Now, we definitely went over odds on that because I've been checking those since the game dropped. But ever so slightly over odds later. Still just waiting for a shiny from a tree or a shiny mouse. And let me tell you, they are elusive. Ow, my ankles. Thank God for that. Oh my God. And remember what I said about that Pichu being easy? You know what? It kind of sucks when there's a Pikachu here because it means we can't get a second wave as well because this is a berry outbreak. We totally saw that in real time as well. Is there a Pichu? Oh my God! No way! Oh my God, a Pichu! In just 32 encounters, we finished off our Pokemon Legends Arceus Living Shiny Dex. Thank you so much for watching this video. Just unscuffing these Pokemon took about 6 months by itself, and... Sorry, 1 second. My phone's ringing. Hello?
You thought we wouldn't notice. You skipped the Distortion exclusives, so you're hereby exiled from Jubilife Village until you complete the decks for real.
Well, being exiled kinda sucks, but it's actually gonna help us out a lot with this, but I'll explain it more in part 2, so keep an eye out for that, and once again, thanks for watching.